What's going on, everybody? My name is Barba223. Welcome back to another video. It has been a while, guys. It has been months since I posted an Elder Scrolls video when they came out with subclassing. I swore to myself I wouldn't play the game because I thought it would be stupid. And I watched a lot of videos and people said it was good, it was bad, it was whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna play a little bit, and I have been playing, and I have to be honest, I legitimately am enjoying it. I had a feeling that everyone would run the same exact build, and there are definitely a lot of people running the same stuff, but at the same time, I think there is a little more diversity. When I got on, I was completely overwhelmed with the ideas, and I tried about a million different things right off the get-go and didn't like a lot of them, but that's okay. So yeah, I figured out something I like. I always wanted to do a mix of Templar and Nightblade. I like to call this the light and dark build because it has a lot of light skills on top of a lot of, dark magic, blood, whatever skills, alright? So, as always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And I'm going to go over the skills, the gear, the TP, the character screen, all that jazz. Alright, so this is actually 2 trees of Templar and 1 tree of Nightblade. I'm still testing. We'll see if I change something around. I might implement some Arcanist. But right now, I'm liking it. I'm having a lot of success with it. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, here we go. Alright, so we are sitting at almost 22k magic. 31k health, 1100 magic recovery until we have our passive from our restoring light rune focus that gives us what 200 or 480 recovery actually, so that's good, and a potion. So spell damage and weapon damage is 3800 before any other buffs, so like major and minor sorcery, etc., etc. Balor, whatever. So the crit is sitting at 52% at the moment. I usually don't think it's worth it, so right now I have precise, but I go between sharpen and precise. I switch. I don't know what's better at the moment. We'll see. Right now I have not a lot of pen. That's because again I'm running precise, but easily could just throw sharpened on, so I'll show it when I get there. The spell and physical resistance. On the back bar we're at 31 and 30, and then on the front bar we're at 28 and 26, which is solid. Like, that's legit. Plus we get major protection, minor protection. It's really good. Then we have 1800 crit resist. Alright, so we have 14 points in magic, 50 in health, and then we're running the shadow as our Mundus, because as you can see we have 36% crit damage, which actually gets even higher for a couple reasons. So yeah, we get a lot of extra crit. So advanced stats. So like I said, we get some sprint speed. We get minor expedition at all times, which is really nice. We get major expedition from one of our skills. We get minor evasion or major evasion from one of our skills as well, which is also really good. So the build has access to like pretty much every major buff you would want, except like heroism, but it's really good. Then we're using Witch Smothers. You can use whatever freaking food you want. I don't care. Use Bewitched Sugar Skulls if you don't need recovery. Use Witch Mothers. Use the Jewels of Misrule. Use any gold food that costs a bajillion gold. I don't care. I like Witch Mothers. I like the recovery. So, and then again, like we're using the Shadow. And then we are Vampire Stage 3. That is a must for this build. You kind of have to be Vamp to make it work. Now, you don't have to necessarily. There is a couple things you could change, but to me, the way I'm playing the build, it has to be Vampire. Now, that's the character screen. So how about we get into the gear, yeah? Alright, like I said, on the front bar, I am using precise. Again, I go between 2 things. I go between an Inferno Staff, and then obviously I go between that and a Lightning Staff. Now, I'll just throw in the Lightning Staff just to show you, because that's what I use more often. So we're using Order's Wrath on the front bar. If you've ever used Order's Wrath, you live under a rock. I don't know what to say. I mean, everyone pretty much uses Order's Wrath. It's a really good set. So Order's Wrath, if you don't know by now, it gives crit, it gives weapon damage, it gives crit, and then it gives more crit. And then on top of it, you get extra crit damage. All right, so that goes on top of what we're doing. So we get the Shadow plus this. So that alone is 18% extra crit damage minus subtracting any of the extra crit damage I'm about to calculate, so it's kind of insane. So just keep that in mind. Right now we're at 11 plus 8, so we're at 19% so far. Okay, I'll update as we go. And then on the back bar we're using a bread and butter set, which is Rallying Cry. I know. Listen, I know a lot of people use it. It's a really good set. Like, it's just really good. Like, you get crit chance again, you get magic, you get crit chance again, and then when you heal, anytime it crits, which is going to happen pretty much all the time, you're getting a bunch of crit resist, and you're getting weapon and spell damage. I mean, it's really hard to not use because it's so tanky, it's so balanced, it does everything you want. It gives damage, it gives tankiness, it gives extra magic, it's light armor. Like, it's just so good. I understand why every single person uses it. It's hard to not use. It's just solid. Like, you can put it on any build and it's going to be good. Any build. Same thing with Order's Wrath. Like, it's a very basic build that's not tailored to any class. Throw it on any class, it's going to be decent. So we're using Balor for the monster set. It's really good. I mean, Balor is great. Like, again, this is a bread and butter gear setup to where, like, you can throw it on anything and it's going to be solid. Now, Balor is really good. You don't have to use Balor though. You can use a bunch of different stuff. Like, I've had success with Maladeth Scourger. I've had a lot of success with Zol the Ever Wakeful. That's a set where when you break free, when you stun break, you get weapon and spell damage, and you fear everybody around you. That set's really, really good for a ton of survivability. And then it also is another balanced set. Like I said, it's defensive and offensive because it gives you weapon and spell damage. So that's another really good set. Like, please use that one as well. Like, that one's really good for this build because you want to get in and get out, and God forbid you get CC'd. You can just break out, fear everybody, TP away, and you're good. Then we have one piece of trainee because of health. Balwork Shoulder, Rallying Cry, Order's Wrath, Order's Wrath. I actually have a perfectly ideal setup with my gear at the moment, if you haven't noticed. Like, I have heavy, and then medium for the shoulder, and then I have 2 light on the hands and waist, and then heavy again. This is ideal because you want to maximize your Undaunted passive, which I also don't have all the way leveled up because I'm lazy. But, you know, it is what it is. So, that's the gear. And then we have Rallying Cry on the thing again. And then our mythic is a Ring of Majesty. Again, this is another item that's just really, really good. Like, it's nothing insane. But you could use other stuff. Like, you could use Death Dealer's Feet. Even Ring of the Wild Hunt might be decent. And then if you can, you want Bloodthirsty. That's pretty much it. And then again, on the back bar, you want Defending. I mean, you could go powered, yeah. But Defending is just better. I mean, it's whatever. So that's the gear. I mean, there's a ton of stuff you could use. This is just what I like. So, skills. Alright, so here we go. So we have Merciless Resolve. I mean, this is a must if you're going Nightblade. So what we did, we went Aedric Spear and Restoring Light, and then we kept Assassination from the Nightblade. So, yeah, I mean, it's really good. I mean, the tree we got rid of is the tree with, like, Radiant Destruction on it, which kind of sucks. But luckily, Assassination has another finisher. And it's also never clunky. Like, it just worked pretty well. So, I mean, you don't actually have to use a finisher. I'll explain that. But we have Merciless Resolve. It's really good. I mean, I don't know how to really put it any other way. It's really, really good. Like, it's passive pretty much, so, like, it's always active. You just put it on your bar, and every time you auto or for light attack, whatever, it stacks up, and then you just pretty much do 1,000,000 damage. I mean, it's not that hard. Like, you combo it in. It's pretty easy. Like, you could do it after you stun. So, like, if you stun somebody, use it because you get a free hit of it pretty much. And then Toppling Charge. The reason this is amazing is because, 1, it's a gap closer, and 2, it's a stun. Alright, being able to do 2 things in one skill is always really good. Like, I'll give you an example. So, like, this skill right here, Teleport Strike, I would rather use this. Okay, the reason being is because it applies minor vulnerability. That's really good. It's better overall than what Toppling Charge is going to offer, but it doesn't stun, and then you'd have to waste another slot for a stun. You don't want to do that. So, Toppling Charge is really good. I mean, really, really good. It gets you in, does a lot of damage. Here's Reaper's Mark. Now, could you use Weakness to Elements? Sure, you could use Weakness to Elements. It's really good. I mean, it applies status effects. It's free. But then you're missing out on a couple amazing passives with it, which is when an enemy's marked and you kill them, and then you don't even have to kill them, they just have to die, you get 10% damage for 10 seconds. You know how good that is in PvP? It's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, and on top of it, you get healed to full health when the person you kill die. The person that is dead. You know, like, it's amazing. I don't even know what else to say. It's friggin' nasty. Here we're using Impale. Impale's the finisher, like I said. I mean, it's a ranged finisher. Can't go wrong with it. If you don't want to use a finisher, like, there's a lot of people out there that think they don't need a finisher. If that's the case, it's easy. Ready? Throw on Inner Light. Okay, why throw on Inner Light? Well, it's going to give you crit, and this is a crit build. Look, you're sitting at 55% crit, and then the stats are better overall. Okay, so you're not trading off pen or crit if you want to use precise or not. I think it's good. Again, like I said, if you don't think you need a finisher, don't use a finisher. Use Inner Light. There's positives and negatives to using a finisher, one of them being you get more crit if you have that on your bar. But whatever. So as a luck, you get 2192, and then if you throw Impale, if you throw Impale on, you get 2740. So like there's, like I said, positives and negatives. Alright, so positives and negatives. It doesn't necessarily make it that much different. But, you know, I use Impale because I like the finisher. It is what it is. I get those kills when I might not, you know, with something else. So we're using Concealed Weapon. Alright, so slashing an enemy doing a lot of damage. That's pretty much all I have to say. And then when you leave Sneaker Invisibility, you get 10% damage with it by 10% for 15 seconds. You also get Minor Expedition no matter where it's slotted. So, like, that's just good. I mean, are you kidding me? These loaded skills. And then here you have Soul Harvest. There's a couple options. Like I said, you don't have to use Soul Harvest. You can use Adric Spear, but Soul Harvest is disgusting. It's 76 ultimate. It'll do over 13,000 when it's, you know, when you have your stack or your sorcery up. You get 20% damage towards them for 8 seconds, which is absolutely bonkers. And on top of it, you apply Major Defile. Alright, so they lower their healing by 12%. On top of it, every time you get a kill, you get 10 ult. What? Okay, it's just absurd. You can spam this. If you play a BG, you can literally spam this. That's the reason I take Impale, by the way, because I get kills. I can spam it because I get kills. I steal kills by having a finisher. So yeah, it's really good. But like I said, you can always use Inner Light. It's up to you. But this is not negotiable, and the reason being, alright, some of these are not negotiable. Look at the way that this build stacks together, and like Templar and Nightblade have a lot of combos. Like, for example, increase your crit chance by people you're flanking, right? What you're going to do. So think about it. You get 6.6% right there. Plus you're at 54 at the moment, right? So then you get extra crit chance. So you get 2.5% per ability, right? So right now we have 5, 7.5, 10. We have 12.5 crit chance, so we're sitting at like 70-something% crit already, which is insane. And then on top of it, right, you're sitting at extra crit damage, so you get 10% extra crit damage. And then on top of it again, you get minor savagery, so you get even more crit chance. What crit chance are we sitting at? 70% on this build, so you're getting 10% crit damage right there. I told you had 19 before. Right, you had 19% crit damage before, plus this tree that gives you 12%. Okay, 19. Oh my God, 19 plus whatever, so you're at 32. It's just a lot of extra crit damage, and then on here you get minor berserk plus major berserk because you get Reaper's Marks, you get major and minor berserk. You get extra weapon damage just for having it, you know, slotted. Like, you get so much damage from this build. It's actually insane. So, yeah. But anyways, let's go to the back bar. Alright, so we have Channel Focus. This armor buff is just amazing. It's one of the better ones in the game because it's cheap. It gives you the resistance. Plus, you get 480 recovery, which is really good. Plus, you get a heal. Really good. Degeneration is our armor buff. I mean, that's it. It's good. Here we have Honor the Dead, so imagine a Nightblade that does a bunch of damage, being able to get out and heal. It's really good. You know, a lot of you know the skill. Having a cleanse is like kind of a must these days, considering all the dots that exist. So just playing Templar and having a cleanse feels good. And then here you have Elusive Miss, which is really good. It's kind of like Streak or anything like that. It's really good because it's kind of a loaded skill. One, you absorb projectiles when you do it. Two, you get Major Evasion and Major Expedition for 4 seconds afterwards, so you kind of can survive. So you get 45% movement speed after you use this because you have it from Concealed Weapon as well. It's just good. And then on top of it for the passives, like Vamp passives, if you're not familiar, you get 300 spell damage after you use it as well. So it's just really good. And then you get the Vamp passive where you take 15% less damage depending on your missing health. So it's really good, guys. Like, really, really good. Just a good skill. And I'm not sure if it counts or not. I've tried to test it, but I can't tell. Concealed Weapon has a passive on it where when you come out of stealth, it does 10% more damage, right? I don't know if it counts as a Vamp skill or not, so like if I dash and then use it, I can't tell, but yeah. And then we're using Channeled Practice Incantation for the a million bajillion healing. It's just good. I mean, it's pretty good. I'm gonna move quick. Sorry. Champion points. Right. We're using Untamed Aggression, Ironclad, Deadly Aim, Master at Arms, and then we're using Pain's Refuge, Sustained by Suffering, Juggernaut, and Fortified. I mean, it's a really good build, guys. It's fantastic. Let me know what you think down below. Like I said, there's a couple changes you can make if you don't want to use a finisher. If you want to change some stuff around, etc. If you want to use a different weapon, you know. But as always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in, and peace out.